You know, people often say that real relationships take work. And when I was younger, I thought that meant relationships were supposed to be hard all the time, like constant fighting, constant drama. But that's not what a healthy relationship is. It shouldn't feel like walking on eggshells every day. It shouldn't mean sacrificing your values or losing respect for yourself just to keep someone around. When you're with someone who truly loves and respects you, there's a baseline of kindness there, a baseline for safety. But that doesn't mean it's easy, far from it, because building a life together, that's work, and it's long-time work, the kind that doesn't end after the honeymoon phase. Social media kind of tricks us sometimes, doesn't it? We see couples posting highlight reels of their vacations, their perfectly decorated apartments, their fairy tale engagements, and we think, oh, if a relationship is real love, it should always look like that. It should always feel good. But real relationships aren't movie moments strung together. They're full of real life stuff. Finding a home you both can afford, figuring out who's doing the dishes, planning weddings and realizing how stressful they actually are, juggling kids and bills and tired nights. All of that is stressful, even with the person you love most in the world. And then life throws curveballs. Maybe you or your partner loses a job. Maybe someone gets sick. Maybe you go through grief, or a dream you shared together doesn't work out the way you hoped. All that stress, it doesn't just disappear because you're in love. It just sits there in the middle of your life, and you two have to carry it together. That's the part that's hard work. Not fighting all the time, not misery, just life being heavy sometimes. Hey, if you're nodding along right now, if you ever felt this way in your own relationships or even friendships, take a second and subscribe. This channel is all about cozy, honest content like this one. If you like feeling understood and you want a space that feels like a soft blanket, you're in the right space. Alright, back to it. Here's something people don't tell you. Spending years with the same person is a balancing act. At the start, you're discovering each other. Everything feels exciting. But after a while, you know their stories, you know their habits, and you might think that means you know the whole person. But people keep growing. You keep growing. And sometimes you don't grow in the same direction or at the same time or at the same speed. And that's tricky because the things you both wanted 5 years ago, one of you might feel differently now. Maybe you change your mind about having kids. Maybe they feel differently about where to live. Maybe your dreams for your careers evolve. Suddenly you're standing in a relationship that doesn't feel like the one you signed up for. It doesn't mean it's doomed. It means it's work. It means having hard conversations. It means patience. It means saying, I love you and I want to figure this out, even when it's uncomfortable. The easy part is falling in love. The real part is choosing to stay in love while the whole world around you shifts and you both keep changing. Something else that makes relationships challenging? Complacency. It's not some big dramatic fight that ends everything. Sometimes it's just slow drifting apart, forgetting to date each other, forgetting to make new memories, forgetting to say thank you for the little things. It's funny how, as a society, we act like finding the one is the end of a love story, but it's really just the first chapter. Happily spending decades with the same person isn't magic. It's small, daily choices to keep the spark alive, to not let inertia take over. That's real work, and it's work worth doing. Because on the other side of that effort, it's partnership. It's knowing someone has your back when the world feels like it's falling apart. It's building a home that feels safe for the both of you. Here's one more thing I wish more people understood. Love is not a one-time decision. It's not something you just fall into and coast on forever. It's a choice you make every day. There will be mornings where you wake up tired or stressed or distracted. There will be days where your partner is not their best self. And there will be moments when you feel like pulling away would be easier than leaning in. But love is leaning in. It's saying, I choose you today, Even if today is messy, even if today is hard, that choice made over and over again is what keeps relationships alive. It's not grand gestures or perfect anniversaries, it's the quiet, consistent decision to keep loving each other when it would be easier to quit. When people say relationships are hard, they don't mean you should be constantly tolerating pain or fighting. They mean life will hand you hard things, and you'll have to figure out how to hold them together. Sometimes you won't have the energy to even take care of yourself, let alone someone else. But you'll try anyway, because you love them. And sometimes they'll do the same for you. They'll carry you when you can't carry yourself. That's love. It's not glamorous, but it is real. That's why perfect relationships don't exist. Real relationships are made in quiet, messy, complicated spaces between two imperfect people deciding to keep showing up for each other. That's what makes them beautiful. That's what makes them worth it. So, if you're in a relationship right now and it feels like work, that's not a sign it's broken. It's a sign you're building something real. It's a sign you're choosing love over and over again, through the highs, the lows, and everything in between. And if you're single right now, don't believe the fairy tales. Don't settle for constant fighting or disrespect because someone tells you relationships are supposed to be hard. Real love isn't meant to hurt, but it does take effort, patience, and a willingness to grow side by side. Thanks for hanging out with me today and listening to this cozy little heart talk. If you want to keep these kinds of conversations going, I'd love to have you on my Patreon. I'm giving away exclusive keychains to the first 100 new members in the Medic tier, $10 and above. And that's where I share even more personal, cozy content that doesn't make it to YouTube. You're welcome in this little community anytime. Until next time, keep showing love to others and to yourself.